Best Animated Feature. The Boss Baby. You're fucking kidding me. It's that time of the year, Christmas morning for all of us cinephiles. It is the Oscar nominations announcements. And with the day and age that we live in now, where the majority of our opinions and insight is dictated by YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, I think it's fair to say that so many people are going online, jumping into those reactions to see how they feel about these Oscar nominations. And I think I would jump in there with them, but with a little twist. And the twist is that you're not exactly going to see me react to the nominations because I was just so giddy to open up my gifts that this was the first thing that I saw Tuesday morning. This is the first thing that I saw this morning where I was like, let's look at these Oscar nominations because I simply just cannot wait. So after looking at the list and going through every single nominee to kind of analyze what got nominated, what got snubbed, and how exactly our culture as of late has exactly dictated what got nominated and what didn't, I figured I would kind of provide my insights as to what it is that makes this year's Oscar nominations a little bit different than the past couple of years, and for good reason. Yes, we did get some movies that were snubbed, movies that you were kind of expecting here, especially with their very heavy campaign on Twitter. And the reason for that is because there's no way to deny, and some of you might already expect the statement to be a thing, and then some of you might not, and that is that we live in a very hyperbolic time, more so than any other years, where I can confidently say, as pleasantly surprised as I am with some of these nominees and how good they were and how great they were in their craft and how deserving they are of their nomination, let's just say that not even 10 years, but probably even just 5 years ago, they probably would not have been nominated within their categories. And then the other movies that we were kind of expecting to be on these lists would have been nominated, but instead they got omitted out because this is the Academy Awards, this is part of Hollywood, and these people, because it's mostly liberal, which is not a bad thing. I personally don't fall on either liberal or conservative. I'm just me. I'm just me, to be honest. I think of one thing as something, and I think of another, and I just feel like there's just way bigger shit in the world to be worrying about, except to criticize about somebody's political views or religious views or their stance on homosexuality or whatever. I don't give a shit. I honestly do not give a shit about any of that stuff. I really don't. But I do acknowledge that there has been a rippling effect about not only the culture going around the world, the culture going around the country, but also what exactly has been transpiring in Hollywood within the past few months that you probably would have heard of by now. If you go on Facebook and Twitter, there's got to be an article where you see some celebrity's face, mostly a man's, and the first thing that comes to mind is, what did they do? Last year is, did they die? This year it's, what did they do? And it's obviously, like I said, a duh fallacy statement where it's like, yeah, no shit, Sherlock. But there's no denying that this was a thing that affected these Oscar nominations. Because, like I said, there's certain movies and certain nominees that would not have made the cut 5 years ago if it wasn't for this rippling effect of change. Which I'm not criticizing. It's something that happens with the times. Just like Harry Styles says, it's the sign of the times. And it's just something that is probably going to be inverted, twisted, turned around in the next 5 years. And again, I'm not going to single out or call out a specific nominee or a movie or anything like that, but I haven't seen every single film that has been nominated for either Best Picture or Best Director or Best Actress or whatever on these ballots, on these lists. So I'm really, really hoping and praying that not every single, or at least a good chunk of some of these people or movies getting nominated were just nominated to appease the people. You know, like I really hope that these are not petty nominations just so that we can't talk shit about them, because we've seen the power of Twitter, we've seen the power of Facebook, and sometimes in fact, a good majority of the time, I do kind of agree with what makes logical sense and for what is right and moral and ethical. And then there's other times where I do think that you need to calm your ass down and you need to appreciate the craft. For example, let's just say that there's been certain petitions and certain boycotts and things like that for certain movies not getting the acclaim that they think that they deserve. And then I go and watch whatever it is that they're kind of pushing for, and I'm like, yeah, I don't think it's because there's a certain race involved or a certain gender involved. It's because it's not that good. I'm sorry, but it's not that good. Please get off your soapbox. It's just not that good. And hopefully there's nothing like that at play here with these Oscar nominations, because it's possible. I'm not saying it's definitely happening, but it's possible that it could be happening. And because of how potentially sensitive social media like Twitter, Facebook, and all that has made certain people and has given them that power to think that they could do anything by just launching a petition within a matter of just weeks or months, there's a certain movie that I think would have been more on more nomination categories in this year's Oscars if it wasn't for certain things coming to light within literally like the past month or so. And I'm not saying that that's a good thing, because it's definitely something that needs to be taken seriously, because hey, you can't exactly say that, oh, I understand, because unless it happens to you, you know, you can't say shit. And I can't say shit. I can't be quick to judge here. But I am scared that this might trivialize the quality of certain movies that do deserve to be on the list versus trying to be politically correct, trying to appease to so many folks. And mark my words, considering that the spark has been lit with these Oscar nominations today, I would not be surprised in the slightest if within the next week or so, we start to see people boycotting and petitioning, launching Change.org petitions online and on Twitter, especially with the only movie that I'm going to call out here in this video, and that is Wonder Woman. Because I saw such a push for this movie to get nominated for Best Picture, Best Director Patty Jenkins, Best Actress Gal Gadot, and so many other categories on Twitter and on Facebook, where it was promoting the shit out of it, and it was in my feed, even though I wasn't following the movie or following any of the people involved, even though I have nothing against them. And yet, having it not be on the Oscar nominations whatsoever, mark my words, people are going to get upset. Even though we do have Greta Gerwig under Best Director, and we have so many talented actresses, some actresses which are of color that are deserving to be on these categories, they're not going to be happy with because Wonder Woman was not nominated. And that's just a good example as to how it is that we need to exactly assume the quality. We need to reach a balance where we are meeting the right quality expectations versus not exactly being super, you know, super right wing or super left wing just because, oh, we need to make people happy. No, we need to acknowledge what was great, what was genuinely great, and why it is that these Oscars kind of mean for something. Because then again, we're just going to be appeasing and pandering. Then again, what makes the Oscars legitimate and not legitimate is completely up to you. Because at the end of the day, you don't need the Oscars telling you that you need to enjoy a certain movie more so than the other. Whatever you enjoyed this past year, you enjoyed it. Logan was my favorite movie of 2017. Spoilers, it was. And it didn't get nominated for so many Oscars. That's a bummer, but that does not make Logan a lesser of a movie for me. So, I'm going to leave that with you guys to kind of interpret. Please let me know in the comments below where you guys' opinions are on the Oscar nominations and exactly what happened with the nominations that this culture kind of, you know, affected, and what's your stance on it. And whatever your opinion is, I'm open to it. Please let me know in the comments below. Make sure you hit the like and share button, and of course subscribe for more videos coming soon. Until next time, guys, peace. It kind of tries to do what certain other asymmetrical multiplayer games do, where one character is this big powerful thing and then the other characters are just regular humans trying to take it down. All out Friday the 13th right now. Evolve, however, wasn't as pristine and polished as, well, neither is Friday the 13th.